It's been a minute, man.
Another episode of the Smokers Lounge.
Smokers Lounge is back, baby.
We back, baby.
Roll it up, light it up. You got your cup, get that cup ready, B.
With the pitch, about to strike something. Switch course, hit the ring, about to fight something. Different chords, 23, call me like something.
It's been a while, man. But you know, like I said, I'm coming, focus. Got some shit I want to get off my chest. As far as the sports world, you know what I'm saying? Smokers Lounge, baby. You know, shout out to all my heads out there in New York, man, family and friends, man. Everybody stay safe, stay blessed. And shout out to all my Jet fans, the Giant fans. Giants got that W today. Much respect for that. Much needed as well. As far as the Jets, man, same story, man. That's a whole different time level and a whole different situation as far as episodes, man. But your boy Big June, man, you know, he just dropped a dynamic duo today, Shaq and Kobe. She checked that out on major platforms and you know, show that love. Smokers Lounge is back. You know, I've been getting a lot of feedback and people been asking me how I feel about KYRIE and the whole situation with the mandate, the vaccine, and as far as, you know, the Brooklyn Nets situation goes, right? So I thought about that. And I'm like, you know what? It does involve sports. And I do talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to sports. So, you know, before I get into this, if you feel I offend you or you don't agree with my opinion or how I feel about it, you're entitled to that. As far as the same way I'm entitled to voice my opinion, how I feel about it. So, you know, without further ado, I'm going to get into it. In my opinion, Big June Smokers Lounge podcast, you know, I commend KYRIE for the simple fact that, you know, when you growing up, you was raised or taught, you know, you stand on something and you fought for everything. So now, here we are in the middle of a pandemic, or pandemic, however you want to call it. But now, isn't it your choice, your body, your temple, for you to do and choose with your body, right? Or due to the fact that you're a professional athlete playing in a mandated city or state, so now you're being forced to do something you don't want to do, right? Okay, so how does that go? Because you got people that's like, oh, you know, it's just a vaccine. You know, we took vaccines when we were younger. You're right, we did. When we were younger, we didn't have a choice, though. We were kids. Our parents made the decisions for us. Now, my temple, I'm a grown man. And if I decide, which I decided, I'm not going to take the vaccine, and I don't care what anyone says about that. If you feel you want that, cool, I'm all right with that. If you don't want to take it, cool, I'm all right with that as well. I'm not here to judge or pass judgment on anyone. At the same time, I'm just going to give you how I feel about the situation. Now, back to KYRIE. Some people are saying he's selfish. You know, you got Stephen A. Smith jumping on him, doing what he does as a circus clown like he always does. And other people voicing their opinion, you know, rightfully so. He's selfish. He's not thinking about the team. There's no I in team. Yeah, I get all that. I get all that. But here's the one thing that, you know, to me at least, I take into consideration. One, he's human. Two, he can decide for himself. Three, if you really want to talk about basketball, the man has accomplished many things already on the court. He's won a championship. He's collected millions doing so. And he's won Olympic gold representing U.S., our country. So he was good enough to represent the country, but now, due to the fact that he's selfish, or, you know, he's ignorant, or whatever y'all want to call him, he's a problem. So now, here we are, in the middle, beginning of the season. Stephen A. Smith going off, and all these other knuckleheads going off. That's cool. You do remember that KYRIE made millions, right? So if he do decides to walk off on a sunset, on his terms, as every athlete wants to go off in the sunset on their terms, he could do so. And he could do so knowing that he's accomplished many things on the hardwood. He's helped a lot of people behind the scenes, but people don't talk about that, right? So here's another thing. Since KYRIE mentioned that the earth is flat, whether you want to agree with him or not, all of a sudden, he's this, he's that. So it led to this, and you could point the finger and add this and add that one to it. And it's crazy when you think about it. Because, yes, the Brooklyn Nets could surely use him. Yes, I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised. but I'm a diehard Knicks fan first. So I do want to see Kyrie do his thing, of course. I enjoyed him watching him when he was a Cleveland Cavalier. I enjoyed him for the brief time that he was in Boston. I enjoyed him when he signed with Brooklyn. Yes, I am a Kyrie fan. And now I'm more of a fan of his as a man, for him for standing for his as a man. So there you have it. Now, it's crazy because I was reading up on some things, right? In New York State prison, in New York State in general, the vaccines is not mandated, right? If my bugging, prove me wrong. It's not forced upon. I'm hearing people in Long Island can pick and choose what any restaurant they want to go into. It's not mandated. But yet in New York City it is, right? I mean, you could do the math for yourself. Now, they say being the fact that Kyrie plays in New York City for the Brooklyn Nets, right? Not only does he stand to miss all his home games, but he'll also miss the road games against the Knicks at the Garden, right, in Manhattan. Okay. Yet, even though it was preseason, the Washington Wizards were at the Garden. A lot of them are not vaccinated. Bradley Beal, number playing, he's a star. Shouldn't the onus be on him? Shouldn't Stephen A be dragging him down the way he drags Kyrie? I mean, he is a superstar. He's been an Olympian. You don't hear Pete. I get it. Different city, different state. Yeah, the mandate, yeah, whatever. But isn't that selfish as well? I mean, you're not caring about nobody, right? Isn't he doing the same thing that Kyrie Irving is doing? What is it, because he's in Washington? Why? Because Bradley Beal didn't say the earth is flat like Kyrie did? I'm trying to figure it out. You know, it's like, you could pick and choose your battle all you want. Lines are always drawn. And it's going to be drawn, and it's going to continue to be drawn, whether you want to realize it or not. And look, it trickled down all the way to the sports world, where here I am running my mouth how I feel about Kyrie. And you know what? I'm on Kyrie's side. So now, if I'm his teammate, what could I possibly tell Kyrie, a grown-ass man? Yo, dog, what about us? What about you? What about me? What about my family? What about my beliefs? What about what I stand for? Does that come into play? Or doesn't it? Again, a regular Joe like me and you probably would have a hard time. You know, most of us won't stand for that. Or maybe you won't stand for that. So now you come to the play like, you know what? Oh, they forced me to do it. You ain't forced to do nothing but live and die. You feel me? Let me repeat that again. You ain't forced to do nothing but live and die. So when you run your mouth about they force you to do this, they force you to, they ain't force you to do nothing. You feel me? Like, listen, like Stephon Marbury said, you know, it's quick to always point fingers and run mouth and do this. And you got your little puppets and clowns like Stephen A. Smith that figure that, you know, let me shoot this black man down or let me shoot the minority down if you want to use that narrative. I'm not here to use that. What I'm saying is Stephen A. Smith is a clown, point blank. And, you know, it's his job to act like a clown. But maybe he should wipe some of that makeup off and she don't run around with the clown, 24 nose, you know, whatever. Because if you feel that Kyrie is jeopardizing championship, is the championship all that's equivalent to life? I mean, there is more to life besides basketball, right? There is life after the NBA, right? You know, some of these athletes like Brandon Roy, Grant Hill, you know, injury hampered and dampened their careers, right? And somehow they found a way to continue to live life. And so will Kyrie. And so will every other member of the Brooklyn Nets if he chooses not to suit up. Now, if Brooklyn does decide to trade him, because they could trade him, it is a business. Then so be it. But I'm pretty sure that Kyrie's still going to stand on what he believes in. And y'all got to respect that. And you know why? You don't have to accept it, but you got to respect it. Respect it. Respect that. Respect him as a man for being a man and standing what he believes in. If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. Understand what's going on. Now, you got people who want to dictate and act like dictators in New York City. Your man Cuomo, before he got forced to resign, wasn't doing that for New York State. The people were living up there without a problem. You feel me? So it wasn't a problem when they defunded the police up there, because there's no crime like that going on the way it is in the city that never sleeps, right? So you had to force the mandate. And it came and applied to everyone, right? It applies to all the athletes, and yeah, that's cool. So basically, you want an athlete to do it the right way their whole career. No toxicity in their body whatsoever. From any chemical, any nutriment, anything, any supplement. So now you have to do this. Or we're gonna withhold your purse. Right? I mean, it makes sense, right? Make it make sense to me. Honestly. Because when you come to think about it, how do you force an athlete to put poison in their body? Because no one can say what's clearly in the vaccine. No one knows. And it typically takes 7 to 10, 11 years, something like that, for a vaccine to come into fruition. This one came out of left field. This one just came out of left field. Am I a conspiracy theorist? Am I a scientist? I'm none of the above. I'm just a man standing on his principle. A man who knows I'm not putting that in my body. You can't force me. But yet you want to force men like KYRIE. Right? And you got clowns like Stephen A. Smith and other dumbasses that want to run their mouth. Oh, yeah, that's cool. But yet you don't really see none of his teammates come out and throw him under the bus. They know what's going on. They know. Some people are really, quote unquote, like you say, awake, awoke. People know what's going on. So, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, because you'll never hear about it, right? Like you see some of memes and people try to shoot it down and dismiss the notion, but there's a lot of side effects towards the vaccines, right? But people don't want to talk about that. Again, as an athlete, training from a young man to a grown-ass man, you're taught to do it the right way, right? Do it the right way. No poison in your body, no steroid, nothing that will stunt your growth as an athlete in your profession, right? In your respective profession. Now here we come. You have to do this, or you stand to lose millions. Your contract. It is stipulation that there clauses in the contract that says if you don't take a vaccine, I'm withholding your purse. Please. I know there's incentives and clauses and all type of wacky, crazy shit when it comes down to it, right? But please, someone show me. Am I looking stupid? Am I sounding stupid? Correct me. Show me then. Show me. And even if you did show me, it was an incentive in his clause. Guess what? You still couldn't make him take the vaccine. And guess what? You still can't make me take the vaccine either. You see, I guess I'm foolish, I'm ignorant as well. Right? Because the lines have always been drawn. See, now every person, every individual has to look at themselves and be like, you know what? This person might not want to be around me. You might have family members that don't want to be around you. Right? Okay, so maybe there were people in KYRIE's family who didn't want to be around him if he was vaccinated. Right? Because this is what they say. Or they don't want to let you know this part. But allegedly some of those vaccines are shedding. And the people who encounter people who have just been vaccinated are going to get shedded on. You know, they won't mention that because, you know, at an alarming rate. But a person like me, I'm more liable to get sick, or KYRIE, because we're not vaccinated. But let's focus more on KYRIE. The man really has accomplished whatever he wanted to in his career. Just think about it. First overall pick, right? Won a championship with LeBron James. Some say he should have been awarded the MVP for the finals for the big shot, the big dagger in front of Steph Curry's face, right? Shout out to Steph Curry, right? Forced his way out of Cleveland. Okay. Some say he flopped with Boston, but he rebounded in Brooklyn, right? And now we're headed to this. And you got dudes like Shaq and other guys commenting, you know, the TNT squad, like Charles, you know. I'm glad I mentioned that I remember that one. You know, Charles Barkley said you do it for the next person, you do it for your family, you do it for your friends, right? Okay. Chuck, you just like Stephen A. Smith. You know, as long as they cut you a check, it doesn't matter what you say, right? Come on now. So KYRIE's this, KYRIE's that, because you say that. I mean, think about it like this. If you want to spread your message and you want to get your shit across, you're going to get it across regardless because you're Charles Barkley, right? Shouldn't you be spreading a more proper, more positive message? instead of executing the man for his belief. And that goes down the line for all you Jones, all of y'all. Just think about that. How quick is it always to tear somebody down, right? How quick is it? It's real quick to always do that. It's like never a problem to shoot a nigga or to kick a nigga while he's down, right? Now, again, I stand by Kyrie. I stand by him. There's a lot of people who stand by him. There's a lot of people that feel like we do, you know? And you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do. You feel me? The only thing I'm forced to do is live and die. That's it. That's the only thing that's forced on us, upon us. If you really want to get technical, you feel me? Like, you could go on and on about what he's doing, how selfish he is for the Brooklyn Nets, and now they're forcing his hand by he can't come to practice, and he can't even play in the road games. You think Kyrie cares? I'm sure he cares to a degree. But the bigger picture, he knows. And that's why he's standing where he stands. What's there for? Right? Look at the boy in Golden State, Andrew Wiggins. What did he say after he reluctantly took the vaccine? He felt like his body's not even his. How wicked is that? His body is not even his. Not even talking about the choice. His body is not even his. What are we doing here? And it affected the sports world because if you're a fan, some of the cities you have to show proof of vaccination in order to get into the venture, right? To the venue, right? And for the star athletes or for the athletes in general, if you choose to play in that state or in that city, if you're not showing proof of vaccination, homie, you got to sit this one out, right? I mean, where do we stand on that? Yeah, the vaccination doesn't stop you from catching, COVID. What it says, it's not supposed to stop it. It's supposed to neutralize it as best as possible. There's other remedies and steps you can take to neutralize it as well. But they don't want to mention that. And that's cool, but it's really not. But us as society, we already played to the point that, you know, again, lines are always being drawn, and you're going to pick a side. So when you pick your side, that's cool, I respect it. And you need to respect my side and my choice. The same way you need to respect Kyrie's. And if that man doesn't want to get vaccinated, let him live his life. If he's ready to deal with the repercussions that come with it, then let that man live with the repercussions. What is it your business? No matter what, if Brooklyn is your favorite team, so what? Get over it. Get over it. This is life that we're talking about. This ain't a sport. This ain't a game. Again, if he chose to ride off in the sunset, the man has accomplished a championship, won Olympic gold, and has collected millions. Has his own sneaker. Do you think all the endorsements are just going to go away because he chose to retire, quote unquote, because they forced him to? Do you think the endorsements are going to go away because he gets traded to another city? Think about it. For every person that says no, there's one or two saying yes. For every person that falls, there's one or two people ready to stand, or currently standing, and will continue to stand. Understand that, man. It goes both ways. And if you want me to respect how you feel, your opinion, then you have to respect mine. Same way you have to respect Kyrie's. If he's less of a man for getting vaccinated, then I guess I'm less of a man. But otherwise, that'll be some other topic because you will have to prove that. Now, when you get back to the basketball standpoint, who's proven more than Kyrie on that court? Again, #1 pick overall, millionaire, multi-millionaire, has his own sneaker, has won a championship, has won Olympic gold, has been an all-star, probably won an MVP in an all-star game. You feel me? So if he decides to ride off in the sunset, he could do that. He could do that. And us regular cats, we might lose our jobs. You probably lose your job. I'm going to walk away from my job because you're not going to force me to do something I want to do. Y'all might be down. Y'all might look at me like I'm stupid. But again, I might be looking at you the same way. It's like looking at a mirror. Your reflection or what you reflect on you, that's whatever. You know, we could get into all this, but at the end of the day, one thing is certain, man. Smokers Lounge is back. I'm about to start hitting these videos, audio. I'm hitting every angle. I'm hitting social media, bombarding everything. It's your boy Big Juice Smokers Lounge Podcast. I'm back. We focus and we better than ever. Listen, I worked out through the kinks. I found out something, and we're doing it. We're going to keep working. I'm about to hit you with some other videos. I will be going live again soon. I want to talk about the John Gruden, the emails, we'll rock the NFL. I just dropped a dynamic duo. Please check that out on Anchor, Spotify, Podcast, Podbean, a couple other platforms. Thank you for the love and support and the patience. And again, back to KYRIE, I applaud you, I commend you. And I'm with Stephon Marbury and a couple other cats that, stand your ground, believe in what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was persecuted, even Jesus Christ was. And not trying to get biblical or religious, none of that. It is what it is. When it's time to stand, some will, some won't. And that's just how it is, and that's how it always been. That's why it's called divide and conquer. But you guys know more than me, but that's fine. I don't want to be more knowledgeable. I know who I am, just same way KYRIE knows who he is. He knows the principles he stands on, and some of you don't. But that's the problem with you preventing yourself. But you'll find that. As far as this platform, Smokers Lounge Podcast, like I mentioned on prior episodes all the time, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Anything and everything that's associated with the sports world. And right now, this vaccine, this mandate in New York City affects the sports world. Brooklyn Nets, NBA fans. So here I am, your man Big Juice, Smokers Lounge Podcast, dropping it. And, I'm about to continue to drop that. And listen, whether you agree with me or not, hey, it's up for debate, discussion, however you want to go about it. It is what it is. It's your boy Big Juice Smokers Lounge Podcast. We back, and we're going to stay focused, and we're going to keep grinding. Please subscribe, follow, share. Thank you for the love and support once again. Stay safe, stay blessed. And KYRIE, hold it down, my man. Your man Big Juice is with you, and I would love for you to jump on the joint with us and, just speak your piece. It's always platforms, whether it's small or big or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? It's people standing with you, and I'm one of them, baby. Your boy Big Juice Smokers Lounge Podcast, man. I'm out, baby. Thank you, man.